So the next thing we're going to work on is Chapter 3, Tutorial 3. And as you can see in this one, we're going to use the circular sketch pattern. So we're going to learn how to use the trim command a little bit in here. We're going to draw some circles and arcs and use the sketch pattern tool. So that's where we're going to start. So go ahead and go to SolidWorks, start your part file, and make sure you change your units to the millimeter seconds. And we'll go ahead and start sketching on the front plane. So I'm going to come over to the front plane and choose to draw a sketch on there. So when you look at the dimensions, we're going to start with the outer circle first. So this is the basic shape that we're shooting for. Alright, so I'm going to draw a circle to get that outermost shape. And again, remember, grab it, lock it down to the edge. It looks like the radius for that circle is 50. So when I look at this, the radius, when I get it somewhere close to 50, perfect, okay. And then I'm just going to worry about drawing one of those outer edges. So I could draw an arc, that would be acceptable. So I can come in and use the arc command and draw an arc. And you can see your arc command is right here, right below the circle. So there's circles and there's arcs. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm actually going to draw a circle, and I'm going to come back in a second and trim it. So I'm going to choose the circle command. You hover my mouse. I haven't clicked yet. I'm going to hover and come over here, and you'll see it grabs onto that quadrant of the circle. So I'm going to click from my center point, and then it looks like the radius of that outer circle is radius 10. So I'm pretty close right where I'm at. So there we go. Now, to make my circle look like this circle, I need to use a new command that we haven't used yet. So I pushed escape to get out of that, and I'm going to use the trim entities command. So when I use trim, all I need to do is click the trim button, come over, and I'm going to select the items that I want to get rid of. So that's a pretty nice way to come in and trim. If I click and drag through, I don't know if you saw that, so I'll undo here twice so you can see a little bit better. Hit trim entities, I'm going to click and drag, and as soon as I drag over that, it's gone. So now mine matches what's in the textbook. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little arc right here, and we're going to copy it around in a pattern. So if you look back at the original sketch, you have 6 instances of this arc right here. So I'm going to escape to get out of any commands that I was in, and I'm going to choose the right here where it says linear sketch pattern. I'm going to click to the drop down beside that and choose the circular sketch pattern because we do have a circle. So the first box that is asking me for on the left that's highlighted blue is to click what do I want to copy, and it would be this arc right here. That's the parts and pieces that I want to copy. It's asking me how many of those I want to copy. Well, I want 6 of them. And you can see that it knew to take those and space them equally around the 360 degrees. And if that's what I like, then I'm going to go ahead and click the green check mark, and there it is. So to clean this up and make it match what's in the textbook, I just need to go through and trim out the rest of those pieces. So I'm going to choose trim, and I'm just going to come through and start to get rid of the parts of that original circle that I drew. So now mine matches what's in the textbook. So the very last step for this is to go through and put in the circles. So I'm going to grab the circle command, and this circle needs to be coincident to this arc that's right there. So if you hover your mouse over top of the arc, and here, and again, I have the circle command selected. I did that first. It's chosen. If I hover my mouse, you'll see that the center point shows up, and I can do this anywhere. It doesn't really matter which one I draw first. I'm just going to continue over here so it doesn't confuse anybody. I'm going to click there, and you'll notice from the first part of the tutorial that the size of this is diameter 10, so that would be about a radius 5 circle. So I'm close. I'm going to go ahead and click. So I have the first circle there. I'm going to green check mark that, and then I'm going to use the circular pattern feature again. Okay, it's pretty smart. It went ahead and grabbed that circle because that was what I just drew. The only thing I need to change over here is to make it and tell it that there are 6 instances of that circle. And then I'm going to push the green check mark, and now you'll see we're finished. That's pretty simple. So this one is going to be a little bit more challenging to come in and dimension. So you can try it if you want to, but you don't have to. Getting this one locked down and getting it fully dimensioned is a little more challenging than the other. So if you want to try it, great. If not, if you got this far, feel pretty good about yourself. And that's it for this tutorial.